What have they sent me now? Yeah, hang on. No, this isn't Japan. This is Ecuador. Allow me to take you back to 1984 Japan. The Famicom is all the rage. Dragon Ball is about to hit the scene. Everyone is anticipating the Intercontinental Cup. And then, without warning, koalas! Koalas here, koalas there, koalas everywhere. Koala cookies, model kits, and even koala anime. All this was set off by the arrival of several koalas from Australia to Japan as a goodwill gift for the Higashiyama Zoo. And the hype was so large that entire anime were made to feed on it. Adventures of Little Koala was one of them, and though a bit butchered upon its US release in 1987, it was pretty good. My family got rid of cable when I was 5, but this is one of the few shows I remember from that time. So let's see if it's just as good or if it's just a veneer that I use to keep my disturbed childhood at bay like my therapist says. For starters, the English opening, once you've heard it, will be burned into your memory for all time. It's almost as bad as the Meow Mix commercial. Listen.
Brand new day, time to play with Pooh Bear and his friends. Where summer never ends. Koala show you how to fly a plane, catch a wing. There's nothing we won't try. Lots to do, fun starts here with you and me.
I can see why they changed it though. The Japanese one reminds me of the opening to Happy Days. Not that that's a bad thing, but if there's one thing Disney has taught us, it's that auditory crack sells and hammers its way into your skull. I found myself humming this song a lot, even in a post office once. That got me some stares. Anyway, this show is really hard to find as a hard copy as it's never been released on an official DVD. Yet there are vintage VHSs you can buy, but they're so old that the quality isn't up to standards anymore, plus there aren't that many for sale. So if you want to see it, you're pretty much out of luck these days. I mean, it's not like you can just Google the show and see several episodes uploaded by people who happen to record them off their TV at the time. At all. This episode is called Allowance Problems, and Roo Bear is practicing his bat swing.
Roo Bear, let's have a serious talk.
Clearly hiring real children to do our voices was a violent attempt at realism. The two of them think they need to replace their worn-out toys, Roo's bat and Laura's doll. I remember playing with rocks as a kid. And I was happy! Damn it! However, they do not have the money to do so and decide that their parents should give them a raise in their allowance. Kid, that's a quick way to shorten your life.
Important.
What's all this about?
Obviously, the editor couldn't decide if the music or dialogue was more important. They asked their mom and dad, but the parents say they need to earn the money.
All right, let's make a deal.
I sell your organs, you get the money. What? He says that if they do more chores around the house, he'll pay them for their work. So Roo mows the lawn.
Gee, mowing the lawn is fun.
What have they done to this kid? But as he mows the lawn with the skill of a blind chimp, he starts getting tired. Laura, meanwhile, is helping Mama Koala wash the dishes. How much more stock could this music get?
And be careful you don't break any. Don't worry about that, Mommy. I couldn't possibly break one of your plates. Oh, I'm sure you'll be careful, dear.
And if you're not, Mommy will have to have another episode. Roo Bear has been mowing the lawn for so long now that he's falling asleep at the handles.
It's enormous. Oh no, I broke a flower pot.
And Laura isn't doing any better.
Another one? Oh, I'm in trouble.
And Mommy doesn't have anywhere near enough happy water for this. They try and tell their parents, but hesitate and are sent to the store to get hot sauce. Roo roller skates through the store as he shops, causing him to lose control of his speed and crash into a display of oranges, destroying all.
dare you roller skate in my supermarket?
Dude, it's a regular market at best. Rue feels bad about what he did and says he'll buy all the bruised oranges.
Oh, you're saving? It's the only thing to do, Laura. It was all my fault.
Or it was his fault for not paying close attention to unsupervised children in his store. Wait a minute. His parents gave him enough money to buy that many oranges? How much was hot sauce back then? And now they're cursed with bruised oranges. Koalas can't even eat oranges. What are you gonna do now, kid?
I can let you have all you want at a bargain price.
Kid, you got a future with the Fringy Alliance. Nah. Despite his best efforts, he can't sell any of the oranges. Why are the penguins dressed for winter in the middle of spring weather? Meanwhile, back at the market, 3 customers are upset to hear that one person has bought all the oranges.
What? One customer bought them all?
That's hoarding.
You see, it was a child that bought them.
Outrageous. He must be going into business for himself.
That's your conclusion. And you decide to chase them down. Talk about paranoia in the business sector. Rue and Laura are now watching the sunset, dreading to have to tell their parents what happened. When suddenly, out of nowhere, Superman appears, saying he needs the oranges to defeat the Scurvinoids of Salkus 3 and save New Genesis from... What do you mean we can't use Superman? I thought they didn't care how stupidly he was used. Damn it, DC. Okay, what actually happens is that the other customers caught up with Rue, bought his oranges, and the two went home with plenty of money. Like my version better. At home, though, Papa has accidentally burned Rue's bat, and Mama has washed Laura's doll to ruination, thus placing the parents in the kids' situation. Rue and Laura have also replaced the things they broke. Irony ensues, and the kids get their allowance money to get new rocks, toys, and live happily ever after. So, how does this show stand up today? The dubbing is questionable, the characters are copy pasta even for the time, and the plot is right out of a learn-to-read book. And I loved it. It's a real ironic joy you get from watching this, like Leave It to Beaver, transported to a time when you were led to believe the world was innocent, nuclear families were everywhere, and nuclear war was around the corner. Almost as if the Japanese were making fun of this kind of delusional world with this, yet taken seriously by Americans who thought that Mario Brothers was a violent game. Plus, I think it's kind of cool how this anime shows just how fad crazy Japan is. I mean, a few koalas came to a zoo and the whole country went ape for little marsupials. So if you get a chance, take a look at this part of their past. Also, if you get the chance, tell me if it's legal to own one of these.